get a little high from the fentanyl, bite down. Pray to the east, don't pray where you eat. Gon' be what it be when it's lights out. Flag on the plate, no time outs. Niggas tryna catch it.
Yo, what's good outside world? Welcome to In the Land, a podcast. I am your host, Isaiah Thoughtful Vinay. And you have my amazing co-host.
I was real nigga Asha. Fuck you talking about.
And my amazing other co-host.
Big Cinco.
You know what I'm saying? Asho, Mega, and Solar 5. And yo, welcome. Yo, we just had a crazy ass episode, the last episode with GQ the Teacher. Like,
hell yeah.
That Bernie Mac story still gets me every time on some like, that man really is connected. Like, that shit
connected and humble about it and then definitely going, you know, back to his roots.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, for real.
OG had a wealth of knowledge. It's always a beautiful thing to hear, like, OG's talking. You know, I feel like a lot of times we don't get to see, you know, artists and people in that realm to even live to be, you know, that age. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to sit down and hear shit that we weren't there for. You know?
Big facts. So with that being said, we're going to bring on this next guest. And I'm really excited about this guest because I believe she is the future of hip-hop, Chicago hip-hop specifically. I think I told her this. I told you and her this multiple times that y'all are the future because y'all be out rapping y'all favorites rapper. And I have no problem saying that y'all really be rapping circles around niggas.
And we do.
But she truly is a sweetheart. She a real hood nigga at heart. Like it is. I mean, but where's the lie though?
There's no lie.
Like she truly is one of my favorite MCs. So give it up for Dialect Tre.
Hey girl.
Hey. You're getting like all these homemade drops and shit.
You feel me? Make you feel
Dialect
like
Tre, how you feeling, my G?
I'm good. How are you?
I am cool, man. I'm glad to have you on our show. I'm glad to get you in here to ask a couple of questions. And
glad to be here.
you know, first of all, I just want to give you your flowers. I feel like when I first heard your music, I felt like I knew the name first. And I felt like once I heard the music, I was like, oh nah, she finna take over the world. Like you, I think people have said you sound like the woman version of West Side Gun. I've heard a lot of different things, but you just have a unique flow that I don't think anybody is touching, period. And I feel like what you're doing, what both of y'all are doing, is really ripping a new chapter wide open for the Chicago hip hop scene on some like, I think GQ the Teacher said it earlier, like women MCs, like y'all taking over the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Girl power.
On some like, you got your turnt genre, you got your conscious genre, you got your alternative hip hop genre. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just getting started. You feel me? So, with my first question, I would love to know, how did you, and I know you're not part of the Great Thinkers, so I would love for you to let us know how you got associated with the Great Thinkers and give us more intel around your collective.
Okay, cool beans. So, how I got involved with the Great Thinkers, this had to be like right before COVID. Like this had to be like 2K19 where they were still throwing ciphers. How I even got in tune was through my little brother, and he was real heavy on just rapping. We've always just been rapping in the household with music. So he said like he came across these people and they invited him out. So I was like, okay, we finna go. So they was throwing a I can't remember the store, but it was a storefront and they was throwing a cipher. So I had showed up with my brother, and that's really how that started because Mother Nature, Truth and Clef, they took him under their wing. And so then next thing I know, they was just throwing ciphers left to right. So it was just like a whole different setting, just seeing people rap and then having that energy, because I was always really the shy one. My brother was really the one who was like, oh, I'm ready to get it. So he's a person who's inspired me, and that's really how I met them. And I feel like Clef and Truth, specifically, they really planted a lot of seeds. Like, we were also within their program, After School Matters, with Clef and Truth, and then they were just always just pointing to us like, oh, yo, rap. Like, the first track I ever did on SoundCloud, I did at their crib. So, for sure, like, they were always very inspiring, and we was always young as hell. Like, at this point, we had to, like, my brother was probably 16, I was like 17, so we was like in all type of shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And actually, that's how I even came across you was, what was it? Trap House Chicago, and when they were doing their circles, and I remember Heavy Crowns, and that was my first time seeing Freddie Also, and just being a part of that whole scene. So like, I definitely say Mother Nature and the Great Thinkers definitely put a lot of like batteries in our backs.
Yeah,
So as far as my collective, it stems from my younger brother again. His name is Will Infinite Journey G's. He started that around the time like we were meeting the thinkers, so I feel like things were just aligning. He was really just more so being creative, and then we ended up meeting people who were older than us, who saw something in us, who was like, damn, like we fuck with them. So SOS Militia, it stands for Smoked Out Silhouettes, but it's like different entendres, like, you know what I'm saying? So it stands for SOS Militia. It's a few other folks involved with us, like we all just like to say, like trying to get our shit off, like. So yeah, that would be more so about our like collective. We really solidified the idea in 2020, but we didn't really start making moves until about 2022 when we were doing like hella open mics and just traveling, and that's when we really got to come across other people who were in alignment with like the vision.
Got you. So did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm curious to know like what drew you to the like more traditional / boom bap style of rapping over, you know, being a young person, like over your generation's form of rap, you know what I'm saying? What was that brought you in?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a big part of my music inspiration comes from my father. Like from my youngest memory, I could just remember like we would be pulling up to my school, he probably playing like some old school shit, like Biggie, Don Tripp, like just hard ass nigga. So I would just be in the back seat, and I used to be embarrassed because he would be pulling up like playing gangsta grill music, all this shit. I remember specifically like Missy Elliott, and this was when like Step Up 2 came out, and she had like a track like Shake Your Pom Pom or so. She was just spinning on that motherfucker. So my dad used to be up on all the music, like he used to have the CDs, and he used to load our iPods, and that's really what it was too. Like he would buy us, like me and my brother, little MP3 players, and all that would be on it would be like Lil Kim, Biggie, like. And I would just be going randomly listening through shit. Like the first album I ever listened to was Easy Does It, like by Easy.
That's fire.
Yeah, that was the first hip hop album I listened to, instantly obsessed. And I was literally probably like 10. Like I was definitely young as fuck. Then Foxy Brown, then Lil Kim. So I was always interested in that type of music because that's what I always heard in my house, and it just always sounded good to me. It always sounded like fly as hell. I was like, yeah, like
It's that shit.
yeah. It's that shit.
Fire.
I feel like what made it funny was too, because I was like so young, and what I was listening to, like for sure, like was way like above what I should have been listening to. So I feel like that was always the funny thing. But I feel like what really drew me, I feel like that's what's real a little bit. I feel like something about the boom bop and traditional hip hop culture is just something that almost like hypnotized you a little bit. Like I feel like it's something that people actually put genuine effort into, like. And I feel like it's something that ultimately just gives you a different type of feeling. It's like, for me, I be feeling a gravitational pull. Whenever I see hip hop or I see people really spitting shit, I'll be like, oh yeah, let me go listen. Versus like some trap shit I would hear today. Like I don't listen to mainstream music at all.
That's real. How did that like affect you and like your peers, like growing up in high school? Like, did they, you know, did you get teased for listening to the music you did, or was your generation a little bit more accepting of that?
It was always like, bro, take her off the aux. Like, bitch, get off the aux. It was, and it's kind of still like that now.
Okay.
Like, as far as like my peers, I did at one point listen to like the shit, like, you know, with Quavo, Nicki, all that shit. Like, I was a big ass Nicki Minaj fan too, cause that shit used to be on my past. Man, that shit, that was another album that I first listened to, like Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday, and I was, yeah, like
what a
for
time.
sure. So it was always cool. I've always felt like I've always just listened to things different. So whenever I would be in a room, I would be trying to play what I was listening to, and motherfuckers would be like, we're not feeling that. Like, and even not just hip hop, just different genres. I used to be like into like alternative pop and shit, like Melanie Martinez or Lil
Clock
Bobby.
it.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
have the
Like,
taste.
I used to like play shit like that, and they would be like, nah, just turn this off. So I definitely feel like as far as what I was listening to was definitely different from my peers. And I feel like it was always mature or whatever it was. Cause being around my dad, like he was really the hip hop player. Like my mama got taste too, but she was more R&B gospel. And I spent a lot of time with my dad. So anytime we're riding around, like he's playing some hard shit. Like I'm a big fan of like Dialect Tre, Meek Mill, like yeah, them tough
So, like,
guys.
me and my kid.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just
That's tight. That's real tight.
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know. This is gonna be. I want to
I'm
know
already laughing.
if you remember your first raps. I remember mine, so if you don't, it's okay. But
Do I remember my first raps?
or even like something like
Oh
your
hell
first.
yeah.
Can we get it?
Oh my god.
Can we get
it
them,
was like,
please?
I wouldn't say it was awful, but this was definitely when the library was letting niggas come and record.
Yeah,
and shit
yeah,
like
hell
that.
yeah.
So I remember just finding out about it because I always loved. I wanted to do I wanted to be a louder than a bomb person, real bad.
Same.
I was always into poetry and open mics, but I always loved rapping and doing music. So I used to go by like my poet name was gonna be Dialect Tre.
Okay.
So Dialect Tre, or Tre is just a play on my middle name, which is Tremaine. So Dialect Tre was just my middle name mixed up. But I could definitely. It's lucky. What did I say? I think I could remember the first couple bars. It was all like Dialect Tre, how you do that? How you make the money? Then I stack it, throw it back. Ha got it mad. I just throw it in the bag. Smelling like Jamaica, something. I was talking about weed because I was definitely always smoking weed. Yeah, but it was
That's why
like.
you sound like you do now. So like you were already going through different flows, even in the beginning.
My
Like,
raps was
It
terrible.
was that, but I had layered it like 10 different times because I didn't know like how edits and shit worked. So it was just them same lines, just with like 10 different layers. I thought that shit was so hard. No.
It's necessary parts of the process. So
Hell yeah.
necessary.
So let me ask you this, Trey. So, 2024 has been a very interesting year.
Hell yeah.
Not just because, last year was the 50th anniversary of hip hop, but Chicago specifically has been on a warpath with Chicago hip hop. You know what I'm saying? With the new Chicago wave, with these conversations about unity and collaboration. And again, like both of y'all sitting on the same couch, like y'all both are really like the future of this shit. So it's like y'all are already thinking how we should have been thinking. I dare say like people from the blog era, like y'all are really inclusive when y'all do y'all shows. Like I feel like when I hear about a show that y'all do most of the time, I don't know who else is on the bill. And that's coming from me. And I feel like I know a lot of people, but it's like I always get excited. I'm like, no, like whoever she be around, like they got it coming. So it's like, what is your perspective on the new Chicago wave and how it's gonna go into 2025? Like, what are your thoughts on? Because again, you play a big part, you play a huge part, in all of that. So, like, what are your thoughts on what it's going to turn into?
So as far as the new wave as hip hop in Chicago, I definitely feel like it's gonna be a fierce year. Like I feel like it's gonna be a lot of creative energy, especially thinking of people in my age group, because I'm 22. And so the people I'm around also my age or a little bit older, like in the 22 to like 28 category. And a lot of the younger people I'm around, they're like, well, I could say for my clique and the niggas I know, I feel like they're very inspiring, they're very poetic, they're very sharp. And I feel like next year is gonna definitely be a year of just pouring. Like someone I wanna shout out to, my homie named Devin. I would say check him out. And he has a anniversary show coming up, his 1 year anniversary show of Pope Baby, an amazing album. Like I was just in like the Kai Crusades and like Asha Omega and just other people that I know on the scene. I feel as far as like the new wave, I definitely feel like we're coming on some nah nigga let me be her type shit. Like almost some I almost wanna, every time you look up it's just me. And I feel like it's definitely gonna be a year of creativity for sure, because I feel like a lot of people are also coming into themselves. I don't know what it is about the energy I'm feeling for next year, but I feel like, oh shit, like this is actually gonna be a year. Something's pulling me towards this energy of the year. So I definitely feel like the new wave of Chicago hip hop is gonna go well, and I even feel like that in all genres. Even the drill niggas, like they're busting right now too. Like you know what I mean?
That's true.
Like even though I'm not as tapped into the other sides of music other than the hip hop, because I really am like mainly in the underground hip hop scene. I definitely feel like it's just gonna be a year of niggas just putting stuff in your face and being like, here, look at this, look at this. I really feel like it's a lot of ideas waiting to be merged. So that's how I really feel about it.
It's funny you say that because I feel like, just to add to that point, all this year, I feel like if you had a favorite, if you were trying to get back into it, this was the time to do that. Because next year, the people who are really serious are going to keep shining, and it's gonna be such a polish on the art that you're not gonna be able to touch it if you're not practicing, if you're not working on your bars, if you're not working on your live performances, if you're not working on building your team as an artist, if you're not working on building your community. You know what I'm saying? Like social media, the record industry, we're already in such an interesting time. So it's like, you know, you got people being like, man, you should just push a single and not like push out an album so soon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's gonna be a lot of, yo, what are you talking about? Because if it ain't worth nothing, we ain't really giving it no credence. And I think that's necessary. I think that's necessary because I feel like Chicago, we ready for it. You know what I mean? Like Cameron just said this year that Chicago has some of the most lyrical MCs in the world. And I don't think bro was saying that shit just to sound cool. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, with everything, you know, that Top Dog Entertainment and PG Lang is doing right now in the world, I feel like Chicago's going to be that uppercut no one was thinking about.
And I feel like it's a rich history. Like, even what GQ was saying, I was sitting in the corner just shocked. Like, wow, we've always had, like, a rich foundation for this shit. Like, so that's why I definitely feel hopeful about next year. And I also feel like that's another reason why I feel like next year is going to really be, like you said, there's stepping stones to the shit. And I feel like them niggas who are being complacent and stagnant in their gifts are gonna be left behind, because I feel like the talented niggas who really are like doing this shit, they're like, all right, I'm tired of this mediocre shit. Like that's how I be feeling sometimes. I be like, gee, hold on, like I need to go ahead and put my foot on the brake. Clearly, I don't know if we all hearing the same shit. Like you know what I'm saying? So that's how I be feeling about it, and I also be feeling like, you know what I'm saying, those people who are like in tune with themselves and in tune with their gifts, they have something to give to the world for real. And that's why I also feel like when it comes also to like being a person within music and being in the scene, I always try to remind myself that those outside opinions don't matter, because I'm realizing like, what does hip hop mean to me? What does music mean to me? So when I try to create, I try to remove that veil of like, oh, how are people gonna take this, or who the fuck? Like, it'll be like, damn, if this is what I'm getting spiritually, this is my gift, I'm about to spit this shit out, like, it has to be like that. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like it's definitely a year of like, damn, I don't care if you fuck with my shit, this is just the real shit. And I always feel like real shit is always gonna surpass the surface and the basic level shit. Like, always.
Hey,
and that's why I love hip hop, because the real people, like, who haven't met there, it's like, outstanding, like you know what I'm saying?
It stand the test of time. All that other bullshit, it ends up floating to the bottom.
Hell yeah.
It might be hot for like 3 seconds, but is it gonna last? It's gonna stand the test of time.
Like Lauryn Hill shit is still in the number top 100 albums
of all time.
And that was 1992.
One of the most impactful records of all time.
And it's about to be 2025 and she's still up there.
Yep. And it was what, one album?
One.
Yeah.
One.
So that shit is unheard of. Like,
so we finna get into our segment. This, that, or a shot.
Why y'all laughing at me?
Because it's, I don't know, I feel like everybody can have fun with it so far. But the rules to this is pretty simple. I give you 2 individuals and you decide to choose one. And you have to give a reason as to why you chose one. If you do not want to choose, then you take a shot.
Alright. Someone hand me this chaser for this damn gin, man.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm a fan of gin. You know
I am not too ashamed for the...
Alright, so...
Alright, cool.
First one. I feel like it depends. It depends on how tapped in we is. But you know what? I'm finna go real crazy, real quick.
I'm scared. I'm always scared when he does it. I'm like, what you gonna say?
Clever a truth.
You are
You
so
paid, bro.
Oh man, I'm gonna take a
And
shot.
again, there we go. That's how we play the game. That's how we play the segment. Again, you don't have to choose. You can take a shot. There we go.
Because I feel like they're both phenomenal, and I feel like iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And they
fair.
both some still ass swords. So I'll just go drink this shot. Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't have been able to pick either. So.
Hey, you know what?
I would have taken the shot.
I'm gonna go for.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, I think you might appreciate this one. Let's see how you feel about this one.
Okay.
Crucial Conflict or Lupe Fiasco?
Crucial conflict.
Okay, why?
I'd say
You got
because.
Good job.
Oh God.
No, that's
Okay.
a solid answer. Yeah.
I feel like crucial conflict because I don't know, that's just them. They just had their own lane in the shit they had. Yeah, like I was gonna say, they're like really pioneers of the shit. And I feel like for crucial conflict to have happened, that's how these Lupe Fiasco exist. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to pull inspiration from somewhere. So you know what I'm saying? Crucial conflict for sure.
Fire. Okay. What's that? That was number 2 or 3?
2.
That was number 2. Right? Number 3. Okay. The Brat
Okay.
or Shauna?
I could say Shauna.
Okay.
I can say Shauna. I can say
Why?
Shauna. I said she's just always been cold, lyrically just lethal.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like the Brat, she definitely have her own sense, but it's like, Shauna's just, like,
Shauna.
I feel like, yeah, some things just be the head turn with shit. I feel like the Brat definitely had her own sense and her own, like, style. But I feel like Shauna, like, always just, I'm always going for the lyrically inclined, crazy, bar heavy, yeah.
Okay. This is my last one. I feel like. I don't know. I'm gonna see how you take this one. Brittany Carter or Freddie Oso.
Oh man!
Once again, you take a shot and you don't want to choose.
You are welcome.
Take the shot.
He said,
I'll take it for you.
He said, I'm taking it.
Hey.
I'm thinking though, cause it's like, I'm gonna personally, I'm gonna say Freddie, and I'm gonna only say Freddie because I feel like I'm inspired by Freddie, and I'm inspired by the shit that she talk about, and I feel like Brittany Carter is equally as lethal, but I feel like Freddie because it's just something about her. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that rawness, that illness. And I feel like because she doesn't have that veil, and I just appreciate her storytelling within the music. It's like any track I'm listening to, it feels like I'm listening to some type of story, or she's pulling me to wherever she at. Like, whether that's hard, her sensuality, like her being a mother. It's like, I'll be like, okay, like she's touched on so many different things. It's just easy for me to like appreciate when I listen to it. So hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Man, that was a good one. Y'all. Hey, Dialect Tre, I appreciate you being here. Do you want to let anyone know anything you got coming up for 2025 before we wrap up?
So 2025, I do plan on like in springtime, if not like early May, I do plan on dropping a project called Rabbit Season. Engineer, mixing, mastered by Dr. Mindbender. I just really plan on coming like super hard on this project. I feel like I definitely wanted to be true to its theme, Rabbit Season. Like, you know, I wanted to like just be really my first full project of introducing to everyone. Cause I feel like Villain Arc was like my first to tap into the water, like me getting comfortable with my first couple songs in the studio. But now I feel like this is a more solidified body of work, more intentional piece. So that's what I have coming up for 2025. So yeah.
Fire.
Hell yeah.
All right, y'all, we finna wrap everything up. But again, Dialect, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank
And
you.
y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. And we're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace,
Absolutely.
y'all.
Right now, eyes get a little high from the fentanyl, bite down. Pray to the east, don't pray where you eat. Gon' be what it be when it's lights out. Flag on the plate, no time house. Niggas tryna catch it. Step. Blessed from the most high. When OG had me dressed up in bow ties. Dreams once fade to